Hi everybody, all the brother and sister. Today I just want to share some of the things with you. How's the way we live and we eat actually can change our world, especially in our health as well. So I just want to show you some slides. You can see the full screen. The full screen. Okay. Fine. I'll just leave it there. Okay. So sometimes you need to ask one question. Why, with the advance of a technology, with the advance of the nutrition as well as medicine, getting more and more chronic cases now admit the hospital, and more people die from cancer, heart attack, stroke, etc. Why, with the advancement of a technology and we get more and more pollutions, our earth actually is getting more and more sick, okay? And people get sick more and more frequent. So sometimes when we talk about health, actually body, mind, environment, and what we eat as a holistic way, they interact with each other. Okay. One concept I wish to introduce you is about inflammation. So when we talk about inflammation, sometimes when we get an injury, we get inflammation. Okay. So when we get inflammation, we get healed. Okay. We feel pain, redness. Okay. It's called inflammation. So inflammation help for our recovery. But coronavirus also induce inflammation, because inflammation not only help us recover, sometimes in the process of recovering, they do damage our own tissue cell as well. Okay, so this diagram you can see there's a lot of a complicated pathway in the process of inflammation during the attack of a coronavirus. Okay, and how inflammation actually damage our body, I think there's a video maybe can show to you. Okay, a concept of inflammation. Maybe it's on the video and see.
Okay, Dr. Eddie, you may continue the video. Finish playing.
All right. Okay. All right. So this is called inflammation. So sometimes when there's an attack between both parties, actually there's many things in between, and many things beside actually get damaged. This is called inflammation. So they do produce inflammation and damage our body. This is an X-ray. On the left side, actually you can see this is a normal chest X-ray when the lung field is dark in color because of the air inside our lung. On the other side, the right side, actually you can see there's a lot of white patches. Actually, is caused by the inflammation process and cause the lung tissue damage. So there's another kind of inflammation, we call it a chronic inflammation. It's very mild inflammation. And this mild inflammation in the long term, actually, they do cause a lot of chronic disease, heart disease, diabetes, cancer, okay, hypertension, etc., etc. All these are caused by inflammation. So sometimes there are many things we can do about it. There's a food to cause inflammation, and there's some food actually that do reduce inflammation. Okay, what the food can cause inflammation? For example, high sugar diet can cause inflammation. Alcohol, low fibers diet, diet that's low fibers, like a lot of flour, processed food, even meat intake. Trans fat, not a good fat. High fat diet, meat, it can cause inflammation. How about food to reduce inflammation, like fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices, high fibrous intake, water. Water is anti-inflammation as well. Okay, so according to the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, they've designed what is the best way to improve our health and reduce inflammation. So I would like to share with you. First, must drink a lot of water. I think this one everybody can do it. The plate, half of the plate must be filled with fruits and vegetables. 1/4 whole grain. Whole grain means whole grain meal, whole grain food, brown rice, etc. This whole grain. How about another 1/4? Another quantity is by this whole grain, and then 1/4 is plant protein. Plant protein. Protein, actually, there's animal protein and plant protein. Why they choose plant protein, not animal protein in the plate? There's many reasons behind. Okay, let me explain to you one by one. For example, fish, because seafood. Okay, we all know that seafood, they have tons of different pollution because of from the water and from the river and sea. There are a lot of pollution from the industrial area. United States Nation Research Council, they've done a study. They found that a lot of this water actually contain a lot of pesticide, chemical, and heavy metal. You can see all the pollution go to the sea. And mercury is neurotoxic. Once they go into the brain, it's very hard to come up from the body. So they affect the brain and the nervous system. So it affects the children's development, delay in walking and talking, short attention span, even a learning difficulty. How about in adult? In called infertility. There's one now getting more and more cases of infertility going on. Memory loss, tremor, numbness. Some people always worry, I feel numb, I feel tremor on my hand. Is it because I get old? No, but nobody talk about, are we having a mercury problem? Because in 2009, CDC, they did a study. They found that 1 in 40 women, okay, the blood contained high above a level above 5.8, above a safety level of mercury. This may affect the baby. Okay, and now they have studied to show that actually this thing do cause related to autism, and autism getting more and more common. Okay, maybe you can show the video about this video number 2. Okay. I think I can stop the video. Can we stop the video? Rosalie, I can't hear you.
Okay, we've stopped the video. You may continue now.
I cannot see anything, only the screen only. I can't on the things. Okay, so you can see the graph. Actually, from 1970 to 2009, actually the autism rate is getting higher and higher. 1 in 91. So later go to 1 in 88, 1 in 68, and recently even 1 in 59. So case is getting more and more common. This is another case. A kids come with a learning problem and autistic behavior. We send their hair to the lab and found that there's high dose of mercury in the hair. And this is a 2-year-old boy. Same thing. You can see the mercury, high dose of mercury, up to 95 centile. So in 2004, Hong Kong did a study. Actually, they found that food is the main source of exposure to mercury in the food, especially fish, is the main source of mercury. So the same year, 2004, FDA and did a warning, women and children try to limit the amount of fish they eat and avoid some types of fish. So mercury, when it stays inside the body, actually take a long time to come out from the brain. So it roughly take about 69 days to 22 years to come out from the body. And not only that, there's another chemical is quite dangerous called PCB. Same come from the industrial area, go to the river and sea and get polluted. And now most of the fish have PCB. So PCB actually can reduce the motor skill, reduce memory. They can affect our immune system, and is one of the human carcinogen. That means it can cause cancer. So this is a study. They've shown that European Food Safety Authority, you can see fish and fish oil have a high dose of PCB in the inside. So another study, they've done a study. They show that PCB actually, once the mother taken it, actually they do affect the baby. Okay, they even calculated if you want the PCB in your body to be removed out before you start to get pregnant, you need to stop fish intake for 5 years before pregnancy. You can imagine how long the PCB can stay inside our body. Okay? Many people like salmon fish, right? But 80% of the salmon fish is in farm. It's a farm salmon. I'm not sure, do you know that salmon fish look very nice, pinkish color, reddish color, but originally all salmon actually are gray in color because they eat the food inside the sea. That's why they become a red color. But in the farm salmon, actually, they do not have this food to eat to become a red color. So the gray color, you do not want to eat gray color salmon, right? So what they do is they add a dye inside the food for the fish to eat. And this dye actually is developed from petroleum. It's developed from petroleum. So not only that, there are more saturated fat, not good fat, more dye, and 8 times more PCB. Some people ask, oh, how about omega-3? Omega-3 is very important, right? Okay, so how about fish? Fish contain a lot of omega-3. Actually, in omega, there's omega-3 and omega-6. The red color one you can see is omega-6. Actually, they cause our body inflammation. Omega-3 actually is anti-inflammation. Okay? You can see all kind of farm fish, including salmon fish, they have higher omega-6 and higher AA. AA is causing inflammation. How bad is the scenario? You can see the donut from 4 mg AA, hamburger 34 mg AA, pork, bacon 112, catfish 67, tilapia even more. You can see this is salmon fish 1152 AA. So much higher. Okay, so if you want to take omega, which is help for your brain, okay, help for your immune system and help for your anti-inflammation, go for flaxseed and chia seed. Flaxseed contain omega-3 much more higher than fish. Sometimes you can see this of poster, do not eat the fish. In America, you can see some of the rivers, some of the lakes, they have this sign mentioned, if you catch the fish, don't eat the fish. Do you see this type of signboard around your area? Even in Malaysia, okay, some of the river is heavily polluted, okay, grade 4 to grade 5 pollutions. So there very less fish can survive in the river, or sometimes even no fish at all. Okay, 2008 they did the study, the man-made impact of the ocean. You can see the reddish part of the map. Actually, they show this worst pollution along the east coast of China, Malaysia, Europe country, etc. So try not to eat the fish anymore. Okay. Of course, sometimes you say, I never know that. I thought fish is good. If you do not know it, it's okay. But if you know it, fish is not good. But why we still eat fish and we still serve our family with fish? How about chicken? Without fish, we still have chicken. I love chicken so much last time. Okay, now that I don't eat chicken anymore because 2012 actually Johns Hopkins University, they did a study. They found a 12 sample of a chicken feather all contain arsenic. Arsenic is a very toxic chemical they can use in the Second World War for the spy to kill people. Okay, and now it's widely used in United States. Why? Because if you feed arsenic, the chicken can grow faster. Okay, if you kill the chicken, the meat of the chicken look pinkish color and look nicer, more healthy color. Okay? So arsenic, they can affect our heart and nervous system, and is considered group 1 carcinogen. What does it mean by group 1 carcinogen? Group 1 carcinogen is a substance can cause cancer, called group 1 carcinogen. So not only arsenic, now later they found that there's a banned class of antibiotic is being used because chicken farm, they grow, it's a very compact place. They grow the chicken. So all the chicken can fall sick. When they get fall sick, they transmit the disease to other chicken. So to prevent that, they need to feed the chicken with antibiotic every day. and stronger antibiotics needed. So finally, banned class of antibiotic is needed. Okay, so not only that, they feed the chicken with Prozac, antidepressant, anti-anxiety drugs. Why? The chickens, they stay in a very compact area. They will get depressed. So what you need to do, you need to give some antidepressant for them. But if you give antidepressant for them, they feel sleepy. Okay, so what to do is they give caffeine. Caffeine they put inside the food and feed the chicken as well, so the chicken can keep alert and keep on eating. See what are we human doing to the chicken? Well, we do not want the chicken to feel depressed, and we do not want the chicken to feel sleepy and keep on eating. 80% of the United States cattle are injected with hormone to make it grow faster. Okay, to make it grow faster, to increase the milk production. You can see the hind leg of the cow. Cattle actually they usually have arthritis, that means inflammation in the joint. The breast is so big. They constantly contact with the ground. Okay, so they get infection and end up with antibiotic as well. So European Union Scientific Committee actually they did a study and found that this hormone actually disturb our human hormone balance. They can cause different kind of breast, prostate, and even colon cancer. So what should we eat in that case? How about vegetable? But there's pesticide in vegetable, right? Yeah, right. We are using more and more pesticide in the vegetable. This is not a good thing, unfortunately. Okay, but they did another study. They found that 99% of the human breast milk are contaminated with pesticide and PCB. Right? But human breast milk is still the best milk compared to cow's milk for baby. Okay, so continue human breast milk, but they are already contaminated. But another study, they found that the level of pesticide in the breast milk of vegetarian mother is about 50% lower than mother who eat conventional diet. Why vegetarian mother have lower pesticide level? Because later they found meat contain pesticide residue even 7 times higher than vegetable and even 24 times higher than cereal. Why? Because this farm, the chicken, the beef, the cow, the pig, the food they eat contain lots of pesticide with long expiry date. And this high dose of pesticide can enter into the fatty tissue of the meat. Okay? This is a website that you can search. This is the level of pesticide are allowed in different food. Do you notice that almond, they have 25 parts per million? What do you see? Animal feed. For animal feed is 400. They allow so high dose of pesticide inside the food for the animal to eat. That's why all the meats with high dose of pesticide. So now they allow animal feed 100 times more pesticide and allow red meat have 20 times more pesticide than most of the plant. Even 1971 New England Journal of Medicine have proven that breast milk contaminant of vegan was lower when they compare 17 different types of chemical. So are vegetable nutritious enough? People worry vegetable not enough nutrition. This is another study by Professor Colin Campbell. They compare the nutrient from different food. They put plant-based food contain what? Tomato, bean, okay. Animal-based food, they contain beef, pork, chicken. They make a comparison. You can see iron, magnesium, calcium. Plant-based food, no problem. How about protein? Protein is similar. It's similar. So our vegetable nutrition enough? Definitely enough. We have to accept the fact vegetable is enough nutrition. Even the American Dietetic Association had mentioned at all stages of life, they mean start from baby until you're old, a proper plant vegetarian diet is healthy, nutrition enough, and even can help for prevention and treatment of certain diseases. But how about iron? We always worry iron is not enough in a plant-based diet. Is it true? They did a study and found that vegetarian same, they're no more likely to have iron deficiency anemia than most of the non-vegetarian. It's the same, but there's a difference between iron in the animal and in the plant. In the animal iron, we call it heme iron. Plant iron called non-heme iron. What's the difference? The plant iron, okay, plant iron, the iron absorption is determined by your body needs. If body need lesser iron, they absorb slower. If your body need more iron, they absorb faster into your body. However, animal iron, regardless of how much we need, they absorb in our body. So what happened? Iron is important to make red blood cell in our body. But if we absorb too much, okay, iron is a pro-oxidant. We have an antioxidant for our body. It's a pro-oxidant. What pro-oxidant do? Research shown that animal iron is related to coronary heart disease, heart attack, heart disease, related to stroke, related to cancer, even related to type 2 diabetes. This is another study in Singapore. They have used 63,000 Singaporean Chinese. They did a study. They found that most red meat, pork, beef, lamb, even poultry, and fish intake associated with higher risk of getting diabetes because of the animal iron inside the food. How about soy and high uric acid? Some people worry high uric acid is caused by soy intake. Okay? Research shown that high uric acid mainly is come from protein in animal protein, especially seafood. Okay? So if you look at the website, the Mayo Clinic, they found that they advise if you have high uric acid, try to limit your meat intake, especially seafood. But how about the protein? They use beans and legumes to replace the animal protein. Okay? But in Malaysia, okay, many patients get high uric acid. They stop meat. They eat more meat and stop the bean. They worry bean can produce more uric acid. Okay, but actually, the truth is you should eat more bean to replace the protein from the meat. Research also shown that higher IQ in children on vegetarian diet, higher IQ linked to being a vegetarian. So even Newton a vegetarian, Albert Einstein is vegetarian. They are vegetarian with reason. They not simply eat vegetable. They know why they become vegetarian. Okay, even Thomas Edison, okay, also vegetarian. Benjamin Franklin, for those who like US dollars, okay, this is a very smart man. He is a polymath. He is an author, politician, scientist, musician, inventor, okay, in diplomat. Okay, he mentioned that if I'm vegetarian, my mind is clearer. I can think better. Okay, in British Medical Journal, they studied about 8,000 people from birth. They found that those with higher IQ, 5 points higher, they tend to be easier to become a vegetarian. Why? They did a study. They found that actually because the high IQ people, they're smarter. Okay, and they found that the smarter you are, the more likelihood you become a vegetarian. So I assume for those who are still staying here to listen to the sharing, okay, you must be a smart man, a smart lady. Okay, so vegetable is for smart people choice. But physical, is vegetarian diet make you feel weak? Some people very they feel weak. Carl Lewis, champion, okay, Olympic champion, sportman in century, is a vegetarian. Martina is a champion in tennis. This definitely is vegetarian. Even Pubert, 5 times world best built man of the century, 61 years old, 71 years old, 78 years old. It makes me feel depressed. They are so strong. Okay. So, but why we always feel that we must eat some meat? Okay, because a lot of advertisement they want to portray image. Eat like a man. Okay, eat meat is like a man. Actually, it's not true. Okay. If you have time, try to see this a documentary actually come up from Netflix, but now it's widely available. You can see in the YouTube, okay, called The Game Changer. Okay, I would like to show you the video of the trip, a small part of the video. Just on the video and see. And on the video.
I ate a lot of meat. They showed us commercials.
Steak. That's what a man eats.
Selling that idea that real men eat meat.
Serious man food.
But you got to understand, that's marketing. That's not based on reality.
I've been teaching fighting techniques to government agencies for more than 15 years. Then I got injured. Unable to teach for at least 6 months, I spent more than 1,000 hours studying science on recovery and nutrition, and stumbled across a study about the Roman gladiators.
The gladiators were predominantly vegetarian.
How could the original professional fighters be so powerful, eating only plants?
When I made the switch to a plant-based diet, I qualified for my 3rd Olympic team. I broke 2 American records. I was like, man, I should have done this a long while ago.
When I went plant-based, I wasn't sure if I was gonna survive. And I actually became like a machine.
One of the biggest misconceptions in sports nutrition is that we have to have animal protein to perform at a high level. That's just not true.
Sometimes you have to do things that you know your competitors aren't doing.
Today's blood and yesterday's blood.
Yeah. I think this is going to wake a lot of people up.
I was recovering better, not getting as sore. This was our best season in the last 15 years, and we had 14 guys on plant-based diets.
We all want to feel great, have more energy.
Cholesterol was 276. Today, 169.
Whoa, now you're talking.
Most guys my age can keep up with the grandchildren. My grandchildren can't keep up with me.
It's not one set of dietary guidelines for improving your performance as an athlete, another one for reversing heart disease, reversing diabetes. It's the same for all of them.
Someone asked me, how could you get as strong as an ox without eating any meat? And my answer was, have you ever seen an ox eating meat?
Someone remind me, have I finished the video already? I can't see the video.
Okay, the video has finished. Please continue.
Okay, right. Okay, you can see they have no problem at all. Okay, in sport. Okay, and you can see this is one of the strongest men in the world. He's from Germany. He became a vegetarian in 2006. And after that, in 2011, after he became the strongest man, he even become a vegan as well. So it's not a problem at all to become a vegetarian. So even a study has shown that human ancestors were nearly all vegetarian. Okay, Spider-Man. Is there anybody loves Spider-Man? There are some Spider-Man fans. Of course, there are some people like Batman. If you ask one question, Spider-Man and Batman, who is stronger? Who is stronger? What do you think? Of course, different people give different opinion. Some may say that Spider-Man is the more alert, okay, because the movement is faster, okay, the hand and legs. However, Batman maybe is smarter, IQ higher. They can think. There's a good thinker, okay. But both of them have advantage and disadvantage, the weakness and strength. But how do you know who's the better one? Of course, they fight with each other, you will know, right? So then only we know who's better. But how about plant-based diet or a non-plant-based? Who is better? People always argue whether you have enough nutrition, eat vitamin B12, okay, etc. There are many arguing going on. But when you compare, then you know whether vegetarian and non-vegetarian which will give you better outcome. I recommend you to read a book called The China Study. It's done by Professor Colin Campbell. Actually, they're partnered with Oxford University, Cornell University, and University in China. They did a 20-year study in 6,500 people in 65 rural places in China. What they found that for those who eat more and more animal protein, animal-based food, they're easy to get diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, lower immune system, cognitive problems, dementia, Alzheimer's disease, even heart problem, cholesterol, even kidney stone of osteoporosis as well. Many people that, are you sure osteoporosis? No? You may notice that osteoporosis is getting higher and higher, more and more common, especially in the Western country. The highest incidence of osteoporosis actually is in United States and Finland, where they drink milk every day. So it doesn't help. Okay, even rural part of China, osteoporosis is much lesser because they eat mainly plant-based food. Many types of cancer, leukemia, breast, colon, liver, lung, brain cancer, are related to animal-based protein. So this is WHO classification of carcinogen. The group 1 carcinogen is the one confirmed. Okay, this substance can lead to cancer. For example, arsenic, you mentioned in the chicken, arsenic, sausage, hot dog, bacon, salami, they all are group 1 carcinogen. Smoking, smoke cigarette is group 1 carcinogen. It means eating a hot dog is the same like smoking. We don't allow our children to smoke, but sometimes we allow our school to sell hot dog. I can't figure the reason why. But even group 2A, the second level, group 2A probably cause cancer. Beef, lamb, okay, pork, they are under group 2A. Fish is not inside, but fish contain mercury and PCB. So Oxford University did a study. They found that vegetarian can cut risk of cancer by half. So what is the optimum percentage of animal-based product? What do you think? So after the research, Professor Colin Campbell, who is a meat eater initially, after this report, he mentioned the best is zero. The best is zero. So even the lower percentage, the better. You can feel the benefit even from 10% to 0%. So even Professor Colin Campbell turned to become a vegetarian later after his own research. So vegetarian versus non-vegetarian, no matter how we discuss about the benefit, the risk, okay, the advantage, weakness, the strength, finally, you know that the better outcome is the vegetarian group to get a better outcome. Not only that, now the research has shown that 70% of our immune system come from our gut. So probiotic, good bacteria inside our stomach, inside our intestine is very important, very important. Where this good bacteria actually come from, okay? For those who have taken some fermented food before, fermented food actually contains a lot of probiotic, we call good bacteria. A lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. The surface of the fruit and vegetable contains a lot of good bacteria. So during fermentation, all this good bacteria will start to grow. And when you eat a lot of vegetable, this good bacteria start to grow inside your stomach and make you feel stronger and make you get healthier. Your immune system become better. But what happens if you eat a meat? Okay, you put a meat inside the fermented food. You can see the fermented food will get damaged or get spoiled. Okay, same. If you eat a lot of vegetable inside, eat very less vegetable inside stomach, but eat a lot of meat, you can imagine what happens in your stomach. What happens to the good bacteria or the probiotic? They get die. Okay, so now they found out that meat eater and plant eater, actually the probiotic pattern inside the stomach is totally different. Sometimes the surface of the meat is look very beautiful, right? Okay, but we don't eat it raw because they have there's so much of bacteria inside. Okay, that's why we cook it before we eat. But do you know that actually all this bacteria on the meat itself, they produce toxin, we call bacteria endotoxin. And this bacteria endotoxin is resistant to heat. If you cook the food, you kill the bacteria, but the endotoxin remain inside the meat. If you taken the endotoxin inside your body, okay, your body immune system will start to react, recognize the endotoxin, start to react and trigger inflammation into your body. Of course, there's a lot of chemical during burning and cooking of the meat. Okay, they produce not only can cause cancer, they can increase our inflammation in our body as well. So the benefit of the vegetarian diet is being recognized by many organizations, British Medical Association, World Health Organization, even Physician Committee of Responsible Medicine, Oxford Study, etc. Okay, so there are many types of vegetarian. Some people call vegan. Vegan means they don't eat. They are vegetarian without milk and egg as well. Okay, vegan. Okay, another type of vegetarian is called ovo-lacto-vegetarian. That means they eat plant-based diet. Okay, but they do drink some milk. They do eat some eggs. We call ovo-lacto-vegetarian. To me, if you can in beginning part, if you can become an ovo-lacto vegetarian, you are considered a success. Okay, you are considered a good success, a good step to go into vegetarian. If you become an ovo-lacto vegetarian, you are, to me, you are a good vegetarian guy. Okay, United Nations reported that milk industry is one of the most significant contributor for today's environmental problems. Why we say that? Because we always say that global warming because of the carbon dioxide, but livestock, those animals that in the farm, livestock carbon dioxide emissions are more than all the ship, truck, and planes combined. Okay? And carbon emissions from the food, beef, if you take 1 kilogram of beef, okay, the carbon dioxide emissions is equal to a car who travel 176 kilometers. And not only carbon dioxide, there's another gas called methane gas. Methane gas is 23 times more effective to trap heat than carbon dioxide to cause global warming. And one of the source of methane gas is come from animal, cow. They come off all this sound, right? So all these gases contain a lot of methane gas. But how much this methane gas can produce per day? They can produce almost 200 to 500 liters per day. There is about 7 billion human population in the earth. Okay, a cow is about 1 billion. You can imagine if I've calculated if we humans are so kind enough to breathe in all the methane gas, okay, every one of us have to inhale 50 liters per day. 50 liters per day. And the good thing is methane gas, the half-life about 12 years. That means they can disappear quite fast. Unlike carbon dioxide can remain in our atmosphere for 30 to 95 years. That means if you can reduce farm, okay, reduce numbers of animal, okay, plant-based diet, the methane gas will start to drop. In 12 years, we can see the difference in our motherly earth, unlike carbon dioxide. So climate changes, they will also introduce a lot of new disease, new pathogens to a new area we never exposed before. Okay, they can transmission of disease to unclean water and contaminated food with climate changes, and with contact with those animals. Okay, now we are getting more and more new viruses, SARS, MERS, even recently COVID-19. Okay, these all are kind of virus. They are in the forest, belongs to animal that we never contact with them, and all of us living with the animal in a harmonious state. But somehow with the development, with climate changes, with development, we start to contact with them, and we get all kinds of new viruses from the forest. So climate changes also reduce the nutritional value of our food. The crops, the rice, wheat, soy, they've been grown. Now they found they start to have reducing level of iron, zinc, and protein. So they also affect our global agriculture production. So the crops yield is getting lesser and lesser. So what happened? So even those smallholder farmer, okay, they're having a food shortage, and then food and nutrition security are being impacted. So the impact of climate change include the price of all these crops will increase. So more people are unable to afford it. Okay, and you can see big percentage of all the grains are given to the livestock, and big percentage of soy are being consumed by the livestock. So if you go to the United States on the plane, you look down the big farm, okay, and most of this food will be given to livestock. It's not to human being. So what will happen when we eat more and more meat? They need more and more farm. So we need to burn the forest, cut the forest, deforestation to make more farm. Okay, so you end up more climate changes because 1 kilograms of beef, they need to take 16 kilograms of grain to produce 1 kilogram of beef. It's something like us, we human beings, maybe we have tons of food, but we are about 50, 60, 70, 80 kilograms now, but we eat tons of food. So eating animal-based food actually is considered a food wastage, because it's definitely not an efficient way to get food. So there's about 800 million people in the world. 1 in 10 are in constant hunger and malnutrition. They found that even in the United States alone, okay, if all the grain that used to feed livestock in the United States is enough to feed nearly 800 million people. But how about the rest of the world? If you stop all the grain to give to livestock and for human consumption, we have much more enough food to eat, actually. So meat industrial, all are related to nutrition, anti-aging, contaminations, chemical harmful substance, antibiotic abuse, environmental pollutions. All these are related to animal meat industry. So food, this concept is very important. Food is a package of nutrient. What do you mean by package of nutrient? You cannot say I want a Spider-Man hand and leg, but I want a Batman's brain. You can't. You can either take a Spider-Man or take a Batman because they come as a package. They come as a package. So even food comes as a package as well. You eat meat, of course, they give you protein. They give you protein, but at the same time, they give you a lot of chemical which you cannot be separated. They can cause you a lot of inflammation. They have high animal iron. Okay, they lead you to different type of chronic disease in the long term. Okay, they give you a bad environment for the good bacteria inside our stomach, so you reduce your immune system. Unlike a plant-based protein, they give protein as well. And I must stress the point that eat plant-based diet, definitely if you eat full, that means if you're not in hunger, you eat plant-based diet, definitely you have enough protein. Not only protein, they give you the whole package. They have less chemical, more fibers, higher plant nutrient. There's more than 100,000 plant nutrient which is not available in meat. They can help your probiotic to grow and reduce your chronic disease. Okay. Now they found that a plant-based diet not only help to reduce your incidence of chronic disease, they even help to slow down the progress or even reverse some of the chronic disease as well. In conclusion, whatever any animal you're eating now, the beef, the pork, actually they are just a middleman. They're just a middleman. Cow you may look strong, okay, but whatever protein, whatever energy a cow has, all come from grass. They come from plant, okay. So they are the middleman for us to get our nutrient. Why not we go directly to eat the plant rather than eat the cow? Because cow, the animal protein have a problem, animal fat, saturated fat got a problem. They got lots of problem in the animal protein. So basically, there's a how do we know whether food is good food or not? Is a healthy food. They help us to reduce inflammation. They provide balanced nutrition. What do I mean by balanced nutrition? Balanced nutrition means you take different variety of diets, different variety of food, and this different variety of food is good for your health and give you good nutrient and health. Okay, so doesn't mean that everything you eat, okay, include fried food, oily food, meat, burger, okay, whatever you eat. No, this is not called a balanced diet. Balanced diet means you only eat different variety of food, which is give you good nutrient and help to provide you with good health. Okay, so those good food also can help you to produce more probiotic, okay, and less contamination. So this is a conclusion. Okay, you see that the plate is not difficult to do it. Half of the plate should be fruit and vegetable. Vegetable should be more than fruits. 1/4 whole grain, and 1/4 is protein from the plant, not from the animal. So we should emphasize more on healthcare. Unless you fall sick, then we need to go for sick care. Okay, so if you not taken care enough on the healthcare, you will end up in a sick care. Okay, so be someone, okay, a confident and vegetarian, be a proud vegetarian. Okay, if you know plant-based diet is so good, so much of new So be a proud vegetarian, okay? So I used to think that plant-based diet used to be individual choice. So it's like you can become a smoker or you don't want to smoke. It's an individual choice. We always say human rights, it's an individual choice. I used to think that, but now no more. I think this is our responsibility. Everyone have a responsibility to take care of our health, even our motherly earth. Because whatever you do in your diet is not only affecting yourself, you are affecting the environment, you're affecting the motherly earth, okay? Indirectly, you're also affecting the welfare of those people in poverty as well, okay? So this climate changes is all contributed by us, and food is one of the important contributing factor as well. So it's our responsibility now. So plant-based diet is a win-win situation for your health and for the planet as well. So thank you very much.